Welcome back to another Zero Downtime podcast. How you doing today, Logan?
Doing well.
All right. On today's show, we've got what I think is a good show, as always, because it's the show that I put together. So we're going to talk about the AI Cold War inside of Microsoft, and some interesting stuff happened in the last 24 hours that I want to make sure that we cover because it's awesome, funny, and awful all at the same time. AI, power, and the human soul. This one is all about the Pope and AI.
Okay.
And I'm gonna school the Catholic man.
We're not doing this live. Well, good thing it's not live. It's a recording. But
the hacker that Microsoft couldn't contain. This is a good one because it goes to show maybe how Microsoft might have too much control over GitHub. So
okay.
We're gonna talk about that. Apple's AI camera future may kill an entire app category. So this happens all the time, but this new feature that's coming in iOS 27 is going to completely wipe out a whole group of apps. Just toast.
That's interesting.
Apple's foldable iPhone is starting to look real, and the industry is getting nervous about it. Now, I may or may not have a screenshot or a picture of the basically a case that leaves nothing to the imagination of what the foldable will look like.
I'll let you know. I always look at your topics.
Yeah.
And then I just scrolled right to the end.
So for the meme of the day today, it's not actually a meme, but I thought it was interesting because we talk about this all the time, the good and the bad operating systems. And I actually of Windows, right? And I actually found this on X. I don't agree with it because Windows 95 was far superior than Windows 3.1. And Windows 98 was trash, and Windows ME was trash. But then after that, pretty much everything tracks correctly.
That's funny.
Yeah, so it's just up and down. It's a line. So if you're listening to the audio podcast, you'll have to check out just this portion of the video podcast right at 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Gesundheit.
Thank you.
All right. So let's check in. How was your vacation?
It was good.
Yeah. How's Virginia?
Lots of trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Curvy roads.
Lots of curvy roads. Yep. It was good. The weather was nice.
Did you rent a car?
No, we had family come pick us up.
Of course you did. Driving Miss Logan.
And then he got to deliver us back to the airport at like 3 a.m.
3 a.m. Well, you are a peach.
Sorry, we left their house at 3:15. So we got there at airport at 4:15.
You're a peach.
It was good.
Yeah.
Twins got confirmed.
Yeah, that's what I figured it was a Catholic confirmation.
It was.
Yeah.
I hope that's not why that rolled into your segment for whatever one of your topics, but
it's not.
Perfect.
I had an idea for a hackathon. Okay. Make the thing you hate.
Oh.
So, for example, I created this thing a while back just to see if I could called Ad Hell. I call it Ad Hell. And what it is it forces you to look at the camera while the ad plays. And if you look away, it pauses the ad before you can play the video.
That is terrible.
Yeah. But that's the idea for this hackathon that I had was, create the thing that you despise the most.
That could get scary.
Yeah, I think that would be good. So tell me about your Omaha basketball trip. A little birdie told me something about guns and everything else.
I wouldn't say guns. Well, good old U Sports.
Yeah.
Fight broke out after a game.
Uh-huh.
It was actually a couple of girls, and I didn't get to see it, but apparently they were wailing on each other. But it was a huge convention center. So there was 14 courts all in one room.
Okay.
So they're just like piled up.
A lot of action.
A lot of things happening all at once.
Yeah.
But it got almost everyone's attention. And apparently a guy over there flashed his gun during the brawl. And then was kindly escorted out.
That is hilarious.
And then the next day there was like sheriff and police and about every single court. Which was nice that they took it seriously.
Yeah, that's funny.
And I just thought, welcome to Omaha.
So did you watch the enhanced games?
No, but I saw it and thought, I hope John watches these.
So I did. It was bull.
Because I thought I saw a headline I had read is that one of the people that won, whether it was a race or something, actually didn't take the enhancements.
Yeah. Okay, so here,
And,
so let me tell you how this went down. I want to explain this to you because I did watch some of the enhanced games.
Well, this is what you've been talking about and wanting.
It's not what I've been talking about.
You wanted this.
No, I wanted illegal drugs.
Oh.
So I wanted to be able to snort a line of cocaine and do the lift, right?
This is not making a short.
No, so I watched the enhanced games and a bunch of non-enhanced people. So the enhancements were like HGH, testosterone, like legal drugs, right? That you could take.
Well, why are they legal if they can't take them for
It's not legal for the regular stuff. Now, I actually went and looked at past Olympic winners that eventually got caught for juicing. It was all of them. So what that tells me is that everyone in the enhanced games that was not enhanced was already enhanced and just couldn't test for it. They beat the test.
Oh.
And it has to be going on forever. Yeah. I'm not cynical about this. It's the truth.
Because it happened in Vegas. Is that right?
Yeah.
They had these games?
Yeah. And they got this Brian Johnson, the guy who created, I think, Venmo and some other thing. And he's super eccentric. He posts on Twitter all the time, X all the time about, I won't even talk about what he posts about, but he's obsessed with health and the right supplement pack and all of this. He come there with an umbrella. He was sitting at the correspondence desk or where all the announcers sit with an umbrella because the sun is the number one killer. This guy has the goal of living forever.
Okay.
He's going to be the first human to live forever.
I mean, someone's got to do it.
He's not going to live forever.
Well, how was your trip to Japan?
It was good. I'm sick. I got yesterday. I really started to feel sick.
Of course you are. You get sick every trip.
So I'm calling it the Kung Flu. Yep. The trip was really, really good. Met up with a couple of AMP employees and we went to Osaka and we tried, I'm going to say this wrong, takoyaki, which is what Osaka's known for. So they're octopus balls. Like they're breaded octopus balls. I bought 10 of them. Ethan and I had one each and then I threw 8 away.
You at least tried them.
Yeah. And the country, very, very clean country, very nice people. Like I was shocked. Tokyo is the 3rd largest city in the world. And
why were you shocked that they were nice?
Well, just because normally you think big city like New York, like rough and tumble New Yorkers, get out of my way, I'm a New Yorker.
Yeah.
But they weren't like that in Tokyo. I mean, it could be that Genghis Khan was attacking.
It's like you're twice their size.
Clean. Very like when you think of a big city, I think of it smells like weed and piss.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't like Tokyo. No.
Awesome.
I went, we had our first Airbnb, which looked like a child's dollhouse. It was ridiculous. We were on the top floor, the 6th floor. So I went out and I took a video at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Nothing. Nobody. It was just dead. 3rd largest city, dead. 7-Eleven, as the young kids say, fire. When I was in high school, I went on a mission trip to Peru, you know that.
Yeah.
But before we went, we actually spent a bunch of time at ABWE in, I don't remember what state, some eastern state. And they taught us a lot about culture before we went. Like you always eat all the food on your plate and like it's like how you could hurt their feelings culturally. Well, when I went to Japan, I kind of went blindly. And there's some cultural things that I didn't know about. Like you don't directly hand them money. Like when you buy something at the store, first, odds are there's a big, like a slot machine type thing that you just put your money in, even though there's a guy at the cash register behind the counter.
Yeah.
Right. But if you do have to hand money to them, you put it on a tray. They slide the tray over. They take the money off the tray. And then when they give you change, that same way back.
Interesting.
Yeah. And nothing is open for coffee at 7 o'clock in the morning except for 7-Eleven.
No wonder why you like 7-Eleven so much.
And their large is smaller than my hand. And I was right. The egg salad sandwiches from 7-Eleven are awesome. Yeah. We actually went to 2 different places where you cook at the table. I will call it Japanese barbecue because we were in Japan.
Okay.
And Wagyu. Ethan and I found a place in Tokyo pretty close to our Airbnb that was all you could eat Wagyu.
Did they regret letting you have a table?
Actually, we didn't eat enough to cover the all you can eat. Because the thing is, the dollar is so much stronger against the yen.
Okay.
So stuff's really cheap there. Like $1 is less than a penny, or 1 yen is less than a penny.
Oh.
So, we had ramen twice. I had ramen. I'm not usually a ramen fan, but it was pretty good. But the same idea, they have the slot machine outside where you go and you put your money in and then you hit the buttons and then a little thing comes out and that's what you hand the people that are cooking it. The first time I went to go do one, I knew what I wanted and I got so flustered when I put the money in, I ordered the wrong thing. It was okay, but I wished I could have got the thing that I ordered.
Yeah.
But I was so flustered. Did you watch He-Man growing up?
No.
Okay. Well, I did. And the movie's coming out on June 5th.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to see it. I am going to see it. Huawei. So it's been my dream to actually get my hands on and see a new Huawei computer.
Did you find a Huawei store?
I found a place that sold used Huawei's.
Okay.
But it didn't have the new MateBook. Have you seen the new MateBook?
I believe I actually have.
In person? So
not in person.
It has the keyboard on it, right? But then you can take the keyboard off of it and it's got a screen underneath.
Yes.
It's pretty awesome.
I was like, because you pretty much can have 2 screens, or you can have the keyboard on the bottom, and then the keyboard can come all the way off and sit down on the. Yes, I have seen this.
It looks awesome. I may have picked one up if they would have had one, but
I thought I'm like, you found one.
Oh, that would have been awesome. No, I was disappointed.
Would you been able to bring it back?
Yeah, why not? I don't know that the TSA agents at the airport. Oh, that's the other thing.
This is where John slips that into his son's bag.
I have to tell you so like in the United States, the TSA agents are just continually yelling at people. Sometimes take your shoes off, sometimes not. Sometimes laptops out of the bag, sometimes not. And you don't know. You just have to listen for them yelling. Right?
Correct.
Okay. In Japan, nobody talked in the security line. They had people holding signs about what you're supposed to be doing. And then as you walked past them, they just pointed at the signs. Didn't say a word.
Wow.
Security, completely silent.
When we went through both times, you didn't have to take anything off.
Yeah, but you never know.
I mean, they were yelling it out.
Yeah, right. And then all of a sudden it'd be, take your shoes off. Like, you just don't know.
Yeah, we didn't even have to do that.
Yeah, probably because you're traveling with young kids.
Yeah, I got to go in the little side one. I didn't have to go through the big thing.
Right. Yeah. So, anyways, did you see the Luce Ferrari?
I did not.
It's an all-electric Ferrari. And
how fast will it go?
Well, 193 miles an hour. But that's not important. What's important, so one of the reasons you buy the Ferrari is for the Ferrari sound. It's the classic engine sound.
Did they just put it in the speaker?
No, they're using it's so the Ferrari was created by Johnny Ive, like the design.
Okay.
Apple designer.
Yeah.
Anyways, they're using the vibrations and stuff from the electric motor to make the sound. It sounds awful.
I'm like, I bet it doesn't sound the same.
$630,000 for an all electric Ferrari.
I'm sure people will buy it.
And if you really want to go look, there's some hilarious commercials on X with AI with like these really popular people getting in the Ferrari, and then they get out and say something that I won't say on this show because we're a PG-13 show.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So I try not to get too political here.
Oh, like I think you need to clarify.
But I have to say one thing. I was reading this letter that the city of Rutland, Massachusetts sent to all of the people. And I just need to shame them for a second. So all these businesses and everything donated to the city for a huge fireworks show, 4th of July, 250th anniversary of the United States, right?
Yep.
And out of the blue, the city sends a letter that says, oh, we're not going to have the celebration because we don't have enough police and we don't have enough EMS. Now, we're all from small towns here, right?
Correct.
And we know that sometimes we have to step up and volunteer.
Correct.
The city of Rutland, Massachusetts has 9,300 people, so roughly the same size as Spencer.
Yeah, a little smaller.
Are you trying to tell me that they couldn't find anyone to just step up, be security, be a volunteer EMS? Like, there's probably nurses that aren't working at the hospital that day that'd be more than willing to.
The most interesting part of that article is how they're not giving the money back.
They're not giving the money back. It's wire fraud.
I'm like, that. It's one thing like you decide to cancel it. It's another that you decide to keep all the donations and act like it just went into one large slush fund that you couldn't pull back out.
Right.
Who gave what? I have a feeling each business could tell you how much they gave you.
Well, and even if they had to equally give it back, I mean, they have to know how much money everybody gave.
Yeah.
But anyways, shame on Rutland, Massachusetts.
It is bizarre that they are doing that.
Yeah. Last one I got for you. So when I was on the plane, 12 hours, right?
Yes.
We have a lot of time to sit there. Actually, internet worked the whole time. $18 for internet.
For 12 hours? That's not bad at all.
Yeah. So I used it. I used Claude Code. We built a game.
Ooh.
Yeah. Called Drift. We'll talk about that some other time. But Matt asked me what kind of drugs I took in Japan after I described the game to him.
That's funny.
But sitting kitty corner for me was somebody who obviously worked in the legal profession. Now, why I'm pointing this out is a couple of years ago, Keith and I were at a trade show. And when you have a booth, eventually you walk around and you look at the competition, right?
Yep.
And so one of them was a group of lawyers. This was a school convention, like for school board members or something. And they had a booth, like it was basically like Stump the AI. It was basically lawyers trying to prove that AI is garbage when it comes to giving legal advice. Okay. So basically, the lawyer's trying to stay relevant. And I will admit that when you put court stuff into AI, a lot of times you'll get back hallucinations. It won't be real court cases.
Okay.
And so you have to be very careful with AI and law. In fact, I put a post on Facebook out 4 days before the post I put out. A judge, I don't know what he did to the lawyer, but he kicked him out of the courtroom for sure because he proved that the lawyer used AI to write the brief and the whole thing was like hallucinated.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyways, kitty corner for me was a gal, obviously in the legal profession. She was responding to a brief. So the way court cases work is you send a brief and then the other side responds to the brief and it kind of goes back and forth before you actually go to court, right? Mm-hmm. So she took the brief. I watched her do it. She took the brief, put it into ChatGPT, then proceeded to ask questions to ChatGPT. And I saw on the screen, like it was saying like this person, this versus this as a thing. Watched her copy paragraphs out, put it in the response brief. Yeah. Like just used AI to write this entire brief.
Just think of all the information she just fed AI.
Well, that too, right? I mean, briefs aren't private. Okay. I mean, I'm sure there's certain instances where they are, but generally they're not private, right? Okay. It's public court record or whatever. But still, like if the judge saw her copying out of AI and to write the brief, he'd flip.
You know it's happening more and more.
Oh, of course it is. But, it's just, would you risk your law license on AI?
Well, no.
Yeah.
Or at least be cognitive of where you're sitting.
That's right. So, anyways, Mr. Perez, I hope you get good representation with your AI lawyer. All right. The AI Cold War inside of Microsoft. So Microsoft invested billions of dollars into OpenAI, but internally, the developers are using Anthropic, Claude. Now, Microsoft is reasserting platform control through Copilot. This mirrors the old Microsoft strategy of embrace, integrate, standardize, and own the ecosystem. This may not mean Copilot is technically better. In fact, it probably means Copilot is not better.
Well, not if it's just using
because
Anthropic.
The AI, the developers on Microsoft want to use Claude Code. It may mean Microsoft wants unified telemetry, probably true. They can keep track. Unified security controls, unified repositories, workflows, reduced license spend. We're going to get to why that's important here in a minute. Less dependence on outside UX layers, so Claude Code UX. Claude models themselves are still available through Copilot. It's just Copilot's interface is just garbage. And so they prefer to use the Claude tools instead. So the real battle may be who owns the interface developers lives on all day, not necessarily whose model is the smartest. AI coding tools are becoming operating systems for developers. Once a company standardizes on prompts, repositories, memory, workflows, permissions, CLI tooling, switching becomes harder, right? They're locked into Claude Code, and that's just kind of it. Switching, or that creates a lock-in similar to like Windows in the 90s, VMware in the data centers, Cisco networking, and Microsoft 365 and Office. It just becomes really hard to switch off those tools that you've become accustomed to.
Yep.
Right. Microsoft may have just admitted something shocking. Their own developers like Claude Code so much they had to phase it out. That reinforces that the model layer is a commoditization and the workflow layer is becoming a moat. That's why everyone is fighting over IDEs, agents, memory, terminal tools, integrations, orchestration, not just raw benchmark scores anymore. Claude Opus 4.8 came out yesterday.
I had saw that.
I haven't tried it yet. In fact, I'm still on Sonnet because I've heard just terrible things about Opus. So I haven't even tried.
Okay, I've been using Opus.
Does it okay? Well, you probably use it for writing.
Couple different things, but I'm not doing code like you are.
Right. So I'm nervous because I've heard terrible things about Opus 4.7. So
which is what I would probably use.
I'm thinking that, well, and plus it uses up your tokens faster.
Oh, does it?
So the newer models use your tokens quicker than the older models.
First time I ran out of memory the other day.
Oh no. Was it the week or the day?
Well, it got so close I stopped because I was afraid.
What were you afraid of?
That if it was the week or the day.
Well, you can't reset it unless you pay more.
I know, and I didn't want to pay more.
When you're out, you're out.
I didn't hit the threshold.
All right.
I got the warnings.
According to Forbes, Uber reportedly burned through its entire 2026 AI budget by April. They're out of money to do AI. After Claude Code spread to roughly 5,000 engineers, some of the details are interesting. 95% of the engineers are using AI tools monthly. 70% of committed code reportedly originates from AI tools. 11% of back-end production updates are written autonomously by agents. Engineers internally ranked Claude Code usage, effectively gaming token consumption. What that means is like they made it a game to see who could use more tokens.
And just spend through all their money?
Yeah.
Wow.
Uber encouraged maximum usage. Microsoft appears to be pulling back usage to under centralized control, which makes sense because the token cost is going to be a whole lot less than using Claude Code.
Okay.
Or Claude or Anthropic models. AI isn't failing because it's weak. It's failing because it's too expensive to scale carelessly because the productivity gains appear real. Uber's COO even said AI usage increased productivity by around 25%, but they still struggled to directly connect token consumption to meaningful customer-facing improvements. Yeah, and they burned it all. It's important. It mirrors what happened in early cloud computing. Teams spun up resources everywhere, finance lost visibility, bills exploded. In the last 24 hours, an AI consultant reveals that a client accidentally spent $500 million in a single month after failing to set employee limits on Claude Code usage.
It just means you had way too much money to start with.
No. It just kept drawing more money.
Exactly. To think that you could just still have all that to just keep drawing from.
I mean, who knows? They could have put it on the line of credit. I'd be really curious who the company was.
I was like, I would love to know what company could even have that sitting there to keep pulling from.
$500 million in 1 month.
That's insane.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Pope. All right. AI power in the human soul. This week, while Microsoft was pulling back internal access to Claude Code, Uber was reportedly burning through massive AI budgets. Another voice entered the AI debate. One, nobody expected to become the loudest voice in artificial intelligence policy in 2026. The Vatican. Pope Leo, I have a question about Roman numerals. We are in 2026. We should just stop with the Roman numerals.
That doesn't sound like a question. That sounds like a statement, sir.
Don't you agree?
I got a question. Then I'm going to tell you what the answer is.
So Pope Leo XIV, that's 14, I believe. 10, 5 minus 1.
Yeah.
That's how stupid Roman numerals are.
At least you know it.
If it's smaller in the front, it's less. So my dad was really good at math. He was an engineer. And I was awful at math, not an engineer. And so he would help me with my math homework. And we would have fights, like terrible fights.
Because you can't be wrong?
Because I wouldn't understand it. And so he would get angry at me because I'm not understanding it because it's easy for him. And I was, of course, stubborn as well. And so that made me angry at him. Anyways, one of the only math assignments that I failed was when he helped me with Roman numerals. In fact, I had to take I had to do the assignment again. My dad called his mom to help him with Roman numerals.
I guess you should have went to your grandma to start.
But I mean, like, think about the Super Bowl. They make it look cool. MMC, whatever. Like, stop. Just stop with the Roman numerals. It's not cool anymore. All right. Pope Leo XIV released a major encyclical titled Magnifica Humanat. You're Catholic. How do you say that?
I think you should keep trying.
Humanitas. There we go. I said it perfectly. And it may become one of the defining philosophical documents of the AI era. The Vatican is not arguing that AI is evil. This isn't some anti-technology manifesto. It's like 100-some pages.
Was it wrote with AI?
I didn't look to see if there was any M dashes in there. In fact, the document openly acknowledges that AI can improve safety, reduce dangerous labor, increase productivity, and help humanity solve major problems. But the core warning is this: the technology must remain subordinate to human dignity. I don't disagree.
Okay.
I don't often agree with the Pope, but there's that. And honestly, there's a much deeper conversation that most of Silicon Valley is having right now. Because up until recently, the AI race is mostly focused on who has the smartest model, who has the biggest context window, who has the fastest agent, who can replace the most labor. But the Vatican is asking a different question. What happens to humanity when machines begin mediating nearly every part of human life? The encyclical warns about several things: massive concentrations of technological power, AI replacing meaningful human work, autonomous weapons, a logarithmic control, and even the risk of humanity slowly redefining itself around machine efficiency instead of human flourishing. One of the most popular metaphors in the document compares AI to the modern Tower of Babel. Do you know who the king was when they made the Tower of Babel?
No.
What the dude's name was? King Nimrod.
Of course you know.
Do you know what the Tower of Babel was for?
Why don't you let us all know?
So you don't know?
Why don't you let us all know?
So there was one language at the time. Shiloh, something like that. And they all got together, and King Nimrod decided that he was going to make a tower to heaven.
Is this like one of the names that you just don't forget because you find it funny?
It's hilarious. They were going to build a tower to heaven. So that way they could pass from earth to heaven, see their loved ones that have passed on or whatever. And God came down with the wrath of God, destroyed the Tower of Babel, and created languages.
Okay.
That's why we all speak different languages, is because of the Tower of Babel.
The more you know. I'm sure a lot of people knew it.
You didn't know this? What did they teach you in Catholic school?
Let's keep going.
So it's like the modern Tower of Babel. Humanity building something enormous, driven by ambition and power, without fully understanding the consequences. And honestly, the metaphor absolutely lands when you think about the story that I just told you about the Tower of Babel and King Nimrod. Because if you listen to modern AI conversations, they increasingly sound almost religious. Superintelligence, digital immortality, AI companions, machine consciousness, transcending humanity. Some of the rhetoric coming out of Silicon Valley no longer sounds like traditional engineering. It sounds philosophical, even spiritual. And the Vatican effectively is stepping in and saying, slow down. We need to make sure that humans don't become obsolete.
Yep.
But what makes this especially fascinating is the timing. At the same time, at the same moment, Uber is discovering AI can become economically uncontrollable. Microsoft is trying to centralize and govern AI workflows internally. And now the Vatican is warning that AI could become philosophically uncontrollable. That's remarkable because the AI debate is involving asking, can AI do this? And entering, should society allow this? What happens if we normalize this? What parts of humanity are worth protecting? The Industrial Revolution transformed labor, economics, cities, and society itself. But AI may now be transforming creativity, knowledge, relationships, truth, and even identity. And maybe the most important takeaway from the encyclical, why do they have such difficult words? Why can't they just say the manifesto?
You're doing well.
Yeah. Thanks
You're welcome.
From the Catholic. All right. Is that the future of AI may not ultimately be decided by only engineers and investors. It may also be shaped by ethicists. Ethical people, I think is what that is.
Yeah.
Philosophers, governments, religious institutions, and ordinary people trying to answer a very old question in a very new technological era. What does it actually mean to be human? I think it's good. I think it's good that the Pope came out and was like, all right, guys, let's talk about AI and let's talk about how we're using it. Because obviously the Pope's seeing people developing relationships with AI, which I think is ridiculous, but people are.
Yeah.
They're using it as a human companion, mostly because AI will just agree with you. Right? But I think that's dangerous.
It is dangerous. I mean, everyone's turning to AI for like everything.
Right. But where I draw the line, like AI is the robot that does what I tell it to do.
Correct.
That's what it is. I don't use it for companionship. I don't use it for a friendship.
You haven't named it yet?
A clanker. That is the derogatory term for AI. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
So it's like saying derogatory terms about people. Yeah. AI is clanker. So when somebody says this is written by a clanker, they're just being derogatory towards AI.
Funny. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I think that this is a good thing to step back and think about. And I think it's a good thing because obviously there's a lot of Catholics in the world and they care about what the Pope says. Right. And so when the Pope says, hold up, stop using AI as a companion, stop using it as a friendship, use it for its knowledge, but it's not your buddy.
Yeah.
Seek out human contacts. Let AI be something that helps you be more productive, but it's not your friend.
Yeah.
So, all right. The hacker that Microsoft couldn't contain. So we've talked about this guy before. His bug finding with Microsoft Defender.
Oh,
we talked about this on an earlier episode. But basically what's happening here is Microsoft is not patching the things that this guy is finding. So there's a story unfolding now in the cybersecurity world that feels less like a normal vulnerability disclosure dispute and more like the beginning of a cyberpunk thriller. A controversial security researcher known online as Nightmare Eclipse has now been banned from both GitHub and GitLab. Now, Microsoft owns GitHub. They don't own GitLab.
Okay.
After releasing a series of weaponized Windows zero-day exploits targeting Microsoft systems. Zero-day is something that is unpatched in an operating system, and it's been 0 days since there's been a fix. So basically, that means that it's still vulnerable.
Okay.
So like, if somebody drops a 0-day, like Microsoft or whatever the company is hasn't patched it, and it's vulnerable to that.
Okay.
And so obviously it's a bad thing.
Yes.
Right. The situation is escalating fast. The researcher gained attention after publicly releasing multiple Windows privilege escalation exploits with names like Blue Hammer, Red Sun, Undefend, Yellow Key, Green Plasma, and Mini Plasma. I know a few of these. And one of these that's really interesting is Yellow Key. So Microsoft in Windows 10 and 11 started requiring TPM on your computer, which is the encryption module.
Okay.
And that basically encrypts your hard drive. And it uses the TPM, the secure enclave, to unlock your hard drive when it boots. Yellow Key can unlock your hard drive without permission. Now, was this on purpose that Microsoft built in this backdoor for governments and like the FBI and stuff?
Yeah.
Possibly. But this guy uncovered it, and it's pretty amazing. I actually sent it to the guys at A&P because sometimes a customer will try to change their hard drive over to a new machine and it won't work because the secure enclave is different.
Yep.
And this is a way to get at the files.
So Microsoft's just like mad at this gentleman for discovering and sharing.
So this guy attempted to give Microsoft these bugs, and Microsoft refused to patch them.
Well, that's on them.
Right. And so the way the world works with bug bounties and bug notification is normally you give the bug, you give them 90 days to fix it. Sometimes the vendor needs more time, so you work on an agreement. The person that finds the bug gets paid, and they stay silent until the 90 days, and then they drop.
Okay.
Right? So everybody's had time to patch before the exploit is made public.
Yeah.
Well, Microsoft, FAFO, by ignoring this guy. So
I mean, that was an option, I guess, by them.
Some of these exploits reportedly granted system-level access on fully patched Windows systems. Others allegedly bypassed Windows Defender, which we talked about before, or even weakened BitLocker protections, which was yellow key. And unlike traditional responsible disclosure, these vulnerabilities were released publicly before patches existed. Now, I want to be clear here. The Defender stuff was the original stuff that this guy found, and he attempted to give it to Microsoft, and Microsoft pushed him off. Well, what would he think that they're going to do about the rest of the stuff that he found? Right?
Yeah.
He's just going to drop it now. Like, fine, Microsoft, you don't want to listen to me? Here are some more exploits. Maybe listen to me next time.
Yep.
This immediately made one of the most controversial security disclosure cases in years. Microsoft-owned GitHub terminated the researcher's account around May 23rd. Nightmare Eclipse then migrated to GitLab, only to be reportedly banned there as within days as well. Both platforms removed the repository entirely, but here's where the story becomes much bigger than one rogue researcher. The researcher claims Microsoft ignored or mishandled earlier vulnerability reports, denied bug bounty payouts, and deleted the Microsoft account used to report the bugs. They deleted his account. He was doing what he was supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
and then Microsoft deleted his account. And now the situation turned deeply personal. And I read these blog posts. They are deeply personal.
Okay.
The blog posts tied to Nightmare Eclipse contain increasingly emotional, hostile language directed at Microsoft, including threats tied to July 14th, the next patch Tuesday. Now, obviously, none of that should be normalized, celebrated, or encouraged. And I agree with that. I think that responsible disclosure is responsible disclosure. However, Microsoft deleting your account, it's on them.
It is. I mean, the way they chose to handle the situation.
Yeah, it's on them.
I mean, you're gonna get
why would
you do all of this.
When he reported the Defender vulnerabilities and Microsoft brushed him off and then they deleted his account, what is he supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, most people aren't just gonna sit there and be quiet.
No, he found vulnerabilities, and part of being a security researcher and all of that is the pride in finding a bug and being able to report on it.
Yeah.
So you get paid, you wait, and then you get pride by saying, I found this bug first, and here it is. There's pride there.
Oh, of course.
And Microsoft being like, nah, we don't care. So
obviously, it probably just tells you how serious of a problem it was for them to not want to acknowledge that someone found this.
If Yellow Key truly was a backdoor put into Windows so the government could get in, what's Microsoft to do?
Yeah.
Right? They got to patch this vulnerability that the government made them put in? I mean, I don't know that's the case. I can't prove it. But a secure enclave is a secure enclave. And if you make a backdoor for a secure enclave, yeah. Okay. Publicly releasing weaponized 0 days without coordination can create real-world victims very quickly. True. In fact, several of the disclosed vulnerabilities were reportedly observed being exploited in the wild shortly after the release. And that's exactly why this story matters, because it exposes a growing fracture in cybersecurity itself. For decades, the security industry operated on an uneasy social contract. Researchers responsibly disclose vulnerabilities, vendors patch them, and everyone avoids public chaos. But that model may be breaking down. Researchers increasingly complain that vendors ignore reports, bug bounties are underpaid, Corporations drag out fixes, legal protections are weak, and disclosure timelines are becoming impossible in the AI era. Meanwhile, companies argue immediate disclosure creates mass exploitation. Yes. Public exploitation releases put customers at risk, and researchers are bypassing coordinated disclosure norms entirely. And honestly, both sides have legitimate arguments.
Don't you think bug bounties are just going to keep going up and up?
So here's why I think that's going to go the opposite.
You think they're going to go cheaper?
Because AI is the one finding these bugs.
Oh.
Back in the day, security researchers put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in finding these bugs, doing fuzzing and things like that. Well, now you can use AI to do all the work for you.
I mean, you just think that the companies themselves would be trying to break their own.
Well, of course they are. But that's the whole idea is that, yeah, there's quality control within Microsoft kind of. And but the thing is that as Microsoft pushes these updates to people, back in the day, Windows 95, Windows 98, you may have not even had internet access.
What you'd said the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. You may have not had internet access, right? And so getting updates for your operating system was very difficult. So when Microsoft released an operating system, it was polished. It was good, right? It was a good running operating system. I mean, yeah, sure, we'll find vulnerabilities in it now, but it was good. What Microsoft is doing now is they're basically using the entire world as beta testers.
Okay.
And so these bugs are becoming more and more and more because we're just beta testing it for Microsoft.
Yeah.
It's awful. So what makes Nightmare Eclipse different is that this case feels emotionally radioactive. The researcher has become something strange online, part whistleblower, part vigilante, part folk hero, and part cyber threat actor. Some people see them as exposing corporate negligence, which is true. If Microsoft truly deleted his account, that is corporate negligence.
Yeah.
That's spitting in the face of every customer that buys your operating system and expects it to be secure.
Yes.
Others see them as reckless arming criminals. And the internet being the internet, both narratives spread simultaneously. What's fascinating is that GitHub banning the account may have actually amplified the situation. That is very, very true.
Yes.
Within hours of the removal, mirrors and copies of the exploit code began spreading elsewhere online. Like the teachers tell you, once it's online, it's always online. That highlights one of the core realities of modern cybersecurity. Once exploit code becomes public, you can't really put the toothpaste back in the tube. Not with that specialized equipment. Which why you'd have that, I don't know. You know what I learned in Japan? One other thing.
What did you learn?
There are 2 places in the world that can make paper globes.
That's it?
There are, don't you want to know where they are?
I'm guessing one's in Japan where you were.
One is in Japan and one is in the United States.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, I learned that. It was on TV and it was literally the only channel that was in English.
Did you watch that channel the whole time you were there?
Ethan and I watched it in the airport.
Okay.
Or in the hotel by the airport. Yeah. And it was ridiculous. The show was just, and every other show is a game show. Like, seriously. Like, I don't know what they're talking about because it's all in Japanese, but every other show is a game show on TV. Yeah. This may be one of the first major AI era vulnerability conflicts because AI-assisted research is accelerating exploit development dramatically. The traditional 90-day disclosure window may already be collapsing under the speed of modern offensive research, which is kind of what I said, right? They're finding them faster and faster. Yep. And when one security researcher finds a vulnerability, I mean, others are going to find the same one.
True.
And, you're going to be some good actors that are going to disclose and some that aren't.
Well, and you think of what Microsoft just did to this gentleman.
Yeah.
That's going to make some people mad.
Oh, yeah. Even the people that weren't really involved
yes.
in that whole thing. They're going to be like, oh, Microsoft scum. Forget about them. The entire security industry may be entering a period where vulnerabilities are discovered faster, weaponized faster, copied faster, and exploited faster than companies can realistically respond. That is a dangerous shift. And now you add public researcher frustration, platform moderation battles, and AI-assisted exploit generation. And the entire vulnerability disclosure ecosystem starts looking unstable. Very, very true. The Nightmare Eclipse story may ultimately fade away, or it may become remembered as one of the first major examples of how cybersecurity changes when AI accelerates offensive capability, trust between researchers and vendors collapses, and platform control becomes part of the battlefield.
They just shouldn't have deleted his stuff.
They should patch their stuff.
Well, but not delete him out.
Right.
That was their biggest downfall. I would like to know how far up the chain that went
for
that decision to be made.
So I don't know. You probably don't know much about GitHub, but
no.
GitHub's a repository of source code. There are private repositories and public repositories. So like A&P has a GitHub. Some of our repositories, code that we work on, is public. Some of it's private, right?
Yep.
And Microsoft owns it all. I mean, Microsoft basically has visibility into everyone's project.
Yeah.
Think about that. They probably trained their AI model on private code in GitHub, right?
I mean, yes, you probably think of how many people actually use GitHub.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
And so Microsoft controlling GitHub and deleting someone's account because they didn't like the stuff. That's pretty awful.
Yeah, I don't think it was a great move on their behalf.
Like they're using the power that they have to delete someone's account.
Try to cover something.
Yeah, to try to, if we make the vulnerability just disappear, it doesn't exist anymore. That's not how it works.
No.
All right. Apple's AI camera feature may kill an entire app category. And this happens. There used to be flashlight apps in the App Store.
Oh, until they just put a flashlight
Until
on
they just
it.
put a flashlight on the phone. There's a quiet shift happening inside of Apple's upcoming iOS 27, plans that could completely reshape the iPhone camera ecosystem and potentially wipe out a whole category of third-party apps overnight. According to multiple reports and leaks surrounding iOS 27, Apple is heavily integrating AI directly into the camera and photos experience. Features reportedly include AI-powered reframing, scene extension, automatic enhancement, spatial photo manipulation, and the new visual intelligence-driven camera workflow. At first glance, I don't understand what any of this means.
I was gonna say, like, it's just a bunch of words so far.
But buried inside these rumors is something much bigger. Apple appears to be absorbing functionality that many third-party apps currently rely on, and this is classic Apple. Historically, Apple watches successful app categories, waits for the consumer demand to mature, then builds a feature directly into iOS itself. We've seen this with the flashlight, QR scanners, password managers, screen recording, weather apps, widgets, night photography, and even Sherlocked search utilities decades ago. Now, AI photography apps may be next. The rumored iOS 27 upgrades suggest Apple's intelligence will gain automatic image enhancement, generative scenic. I don't even know what half this stuff means.
Well, the automatic image enhancement just means they take your photo and make it look better.
Okay. Intelligent camera assistance.
I don't know what it's going to do for that.
Okay. Natural language photo editing. I'm assuming you can type and it will edit the photo based on what you type.
I mean, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. A deeper system level visual understanding. I can guess it can look at the picture better.
Yeah, I was like, some of that, it'll be interesting to see what it actually does.
So with all this stuff, it creates a serious problem for companies building standalone object detection apps, visual recognition apps, AI camera overlays, image enhancement tools, smart camera assistance, and even some accessibility camera utilities. Now, when I originally wrote this segment, the idea of what they're replacing is something like, tell me what that plant is.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, or point it at a bird.
Well, just think about that that's exciting. For online shopping.
Oh,
you take a picture of a shirt and say, where can I buy this?
Yeah. Yeah.
It might be fun.
It might be fun. I don't know.
I'm sure, yes, it will take away from other people that have worked hard on apps that are developing. But
so once Apple bakes these features directly into the operating system, third-party developers lose one of their biggest advantage, frictionless access to the camera experience. And Apple always has advantages when it comes to software they build for the iPhone.
Well, the people are buying the iPhone. I mean, it's already in their hands and it's already installed.
No, but I mean, what's even more is like I could submit an app to the App Store. I can't use private APIs.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Apple can.
Yeah.
You know? So Apple has structural advantage. They have lower latency, direct hardware access, deeper photo integration, on-device processing, better battery optimization, tighter privacy controls, and system-level UI integration. All of these things you can't do if you put an app in the App Store on the device. I mean, think about the flashlight. It's on the main screen now.
Yeah.
You don't have to unlock to get to the flashlight.
How many apps are you still paying for?
I pay for almost none.
That's just what I mean. But there was a time people paid for a lot of apps.
We're tight ass Iowans.
You think there's people out there paying for a lot of apps?
Oh yeah, there's people paying for apps. There's people paying monthly for apps. Oh yeah, the ecosystem's huge.
Okay,
we're just tight ass Iowans.
All right.
Yeah. That's very difficult for independent developers to compete with, but this story gets even more interesting when you zoom out. Apple's broader AI strategy appears radically different from competitors like Google and Microsoft. Google increasingly wants AI everywhere all the time. Microsoft wants Copilot woven through Windows. But Apple seems to be moving toward ambient system-level privacy-focused AI. AI that quietly enhances workflows instead of becoming a visible chatbot interface. And honestly, I think the Apple approach is better.
I would agree.
Use AI when you want to use AI. Don't weave it into everything.
Correct.
Instead of asking what prompt should I type, Apple seems to want the camera to simply understand the scene, photos to intelligently repair images, and Siri to become an invisible contextual layer. You know, one thing they sold at a lot of the stores in Japan, like these knick-knack stores, those cameras that you take the picture and then you turn the whole camera in to develop the single-use cameras.
Oh, yeah.
They were selling those things everywhere.
I have seen a lot more reels and stuff with people recording themselves taking pictures with disposable cameras.
Yeah. So we DVDs are a big thing there.
Really?
Yeah. So we found this store. So there's a Akibara. I know I murdered the name, but that's a section in Tokyo that's all electronics.
Okay.
That's like where I found the used MateBook.
Okay.
Huawei. So I wanted to go there, obviously, to walk around and see the little shops. So Ethan and I, we were waiting for Dawson and Eli and crew to come to eat supper. And I find the store, it's DVDs. It's on the third floor. So Ethan and I walk up to the third floor, walk in, and it's got like tchotchke when you first walk in. And you go through this door, all anime porn. I stepped through the threshold into the door, saw a bunch of the DVDs, turned right around and go, Ethan, it's all anime porn. Let's get out of here.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, that was exciting.
I was going to ask you if they had anything in English, like when you were going to go look at DVDs, but
they did have English DVDs. The problem is, I think that the DVDs there are a different video standard in the United States.
Okay.
So we use NTSC and their PAL over there. PAL. That stands for something. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Even their Nintendo Wii, Jill asked me to see if Wii, whatever the latest one is.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Switch.
Oh, yeah, the Nintendo Switch.
Switch 2. She asked me to see if I could pick one up cheap. You know, and then fly back with it and carry it with me
in your bag.
Yeah,
just come back with it.
Literally, the Wii or the Switch said will only work in Japan.
Really,
right on the box. So
interesting.
Yeah. So the closer Apple moves towards AI native operating systems, the more dangerous it becomes to build an app category dependent on features Apple could later absorb. Because if Apple Intelligence becomes the default layer for image detection, photo cleanup, camera intelligence, visual search, and editing, many standalone AI utility apps may suddenly feel redundant. And there's another layer here that people really aren't talking enough about. Privacy. Apple is aggressively positioning itself as a safe AI company. Reports suggest iOS 27 will continue emphasizing on-device processing, limited memory retention, auto-deleting AI chats, and strong privacy boundaries around AI interactions. That gives Apple a unique marketing position, AI without surveillance.
Do you really believe that they were going to delete that?
So when you were at the airport, did they take your picture when you handed them your ID?
Yeah. And my children.
Yeah. And then there's a thing on the wall that says that your picture's deleted in 12 hours or something. There's a poster.
I didn't see it, but I'm sure you're right.
Do you believe that?
No.
Absolutely not.
I like to make weird faces in those pictures.
Oh, that's not your normal face? And consumers are increasingly nervous about cloud AI systems constantly analyzing their lives, which is very, very true, right? Like when I work on this podcast or something, like it knows what I'm working on.
Yeah.
And it's just like without telling it. Yeah. The irony is that Apple may end up winning the AI race not by building the smartest chatbot, but making AI feel invisible, safe, battery efficient, and deeply integrating into everyday tasks like photography. But for third-party developers, the same integration may become existential because the history of Apple is full of moments where entire app categories disappeared the moment Cupertino decided, let's just build it ourselves. And iOS 27 may be the next chapter in that story.
I think it'll be interesting. I feel like Apple could make it sound all wonderful and package it beautifully, but to me, it doesn't mean it's going to be safer.
On-device AI, I think, is the future. So if Apple truly is doing the AI on-device, like they load some model on the iPhone, and it truly stays on the device, it's powerful.
So
yeah,
guess we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on this. Apple's foldable iPhone is starting to look real, and you cheated and looked ahead.
This is the only part I cheated on, but yes.
So we've talked about the foldable iPhone pretty much since the beginning of this podcast.
Correct.
And, we both know it's going to happen.
Yes.
Like it's going to be announced.
It's not an if, it's a when.
It's going to be announced next month. So, I mean, everyone's building one right now, and Apple's just kind of been chilling on the sidelines watching everybody build their foldables. One of the ones I was trying to find. So there was more Huawei phones and watches, but not laptops. I was trying to find the trifold.
Oh, yeah.
But I couldn't find the trifold either because I would have taken a picture of that.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. So, but now Apple's not going to sit on the sidelines anymore. So newly leaked accessory cases for Apple's rumored foldable iPhone Ultra are giving us the cleanest looks yet of what could become Apple's first foldable phone. And the leak suggests something very important. Apple does not appear to be building a clone of the Samsung Galaxy Fold. Instead, Apple appears to be taking a wider, more tablet-like approach to the foldable form factor, and that's significant. I know. I can see your smile over there. That shit-eating grin. I see it.
It's magical.
Because one of the biggest complaints about the existing foldables is that they feel awkward when closed, which is very true. Like I brought my Galaxy Fold. So if you're going to Japan,
yeah,
and you want to bring your cell phone, Verizon costs $12 a day to have it. You can buy an eSIM that won't give you a phone number, but it will give you data. And you could put that on your iPhone. So you could, right now there's an eSIM burned in. You can select you install another eSIM on your phone, and then you select that, and it'll give you unlimited data for the whole time you're there for like $10.
Oh, so
remember that if you go to Japan and you don't care about keeping your phone number live, you get unlimited data. You can still iMessage, WhatsApp, all the other apps will work.
Yeah,
it's just you don't have a phone number attached to your phone.
Okay.
So one of the biggest complaints is that they're too narrow, and they're thick, and they're comprised of there's shit phones when they're closed, right?
Yeah.
Like it's too small. It's like my finger's too big to dial numbers on that small screen on the Galaxy Fold. So Apple appears to be trying to solve that by making the outer display feel more natural while turning the inner display into something closer to a compact iPad mini experience. That's a lot of little words.
That is a lot of little words.
And honestly, that may be a correct strategy. The leaks suggest a book-style foldable design, a large tablet-like inner display, a slim folded profile, dual rear cameras, not enough cameras.
I was like, where's the third?
MagSafe integration, a Touch ID or Face ID. Yeah. But here's what makes the story fascinating. Apple is arriving late on purpose, very late. Foldables have existed for years. Samsung is already several generations deep. Huawei pushed aggressive hardware innovation. Google entered the market. Motorola revived the Razr, and Apple watched it all. That's classic Apple behavior. The company often avoids being first. Instead, it waits for the supply chain to mature, engineering problems to stabilize, battery technology to improve, durability concerns to become manageable, and software workflows to make sense. Then Apple enters late, but it generally redefines the entire category. We saw this with MP3 players, smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, and even their wireless earbuds. The question is whether foldables are mature enough for Apple to pull that off again, because according to multiple reports, Apple is struggling with one major problem: the hinge. Leaks suggest that Apple has become obsessed with solving display creasing. So that's the line down the middle that you still see when the phone is open.
Yeah.
Hinge durability and overall structural rigidity, which honestly makes sense, right? The hinge is probably one of the most important parts.
Do you see the crease in your foldable?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
You can see it all the time. I mean, there's display over it, but you can see it.
Yeah.
Apple's first foldable cannot feel fragile. The company knows that if a consumer spends $2,000 on a foldable iPhone and it starts creaking, rattling, or developing visible display damage after a few months, the internet will absolutely destroy it.
Correct.
Yeah. And some reports already suggest the prototype hinges may be encountering rattling or long-term durability issues. That's probably why Apple has delayed the product for so long, because these foldables challenge nearly everything Apple values: thinness, rigidity, durability, battery life, repairability, and premium feel. And there's another interesting angle here: repairability. One leak claims Apple may actually make the iPhone Ultra one of the most repairable foldables ever produced, which could go to the long-lastingness of the hinges and everything else that might need to be replaced.
Is that just like how they're going to sell it? Is that if you happen to have a problem, you can fix it?
You can fix it. If true, that'd be a major shift for the category, because current foldables are often expensive to repair, difficult to disassemble, and notoriously delicate. Apple may be trying to position the device as a foldable normal people can actually trust. That could matter more than that futuristic design. But there's a bigger industry implication here. The moment Apple enters foldables seriously, the category becomes legitimized. Not because Apple invented it. Samsung absolutely deserves the credit for carrying foldables through the painful early years. But because Apple entering a market changes consumer psychology. Suddenly, carriers push harder. True. Developers optimize apps. Yep. Accessory makers flood the market. Yeah, because people that buy Apples tend to have money to buy other stuff. And mainstream consumers start paying attention. That's what Apple historically does best. Not inventing categories, but normalizing them. And if these leaks are accurate, 2026 may finally be the year foldables stop being an experimental tech enthusiast device and start becoming a mainstream premium smartphone technology, assuming Apple can make the hinge stop rattling first. And I'm going to go ahead and show the picture. There it is. I like the dock, if that's true.
I know. So many good things here.
I mean, so for anybody on the audio podcast, it looks like an Apple computer, basically. It's got the dock at the bottom and then your icons at the top. I mean, it's just a wider dock, right? It looks awesome.
I would be all for this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I got for you today, Logan.
Question of the day for you.
Yeah.
We've had A&P since 2017.
Yeah.
What is one of the most surprising things you've learned since owning an IT company?
As far as the IT goes, or as far as...
It can be just company in general.
So before A&P, we owned companies. We didn't really have employees, right?
Yep.
And so as far as the business aspect of A&P, so there's not much in the computer industry that surprises me. Just shit breaks. Like, that's just how it goes, right? But learning how to work with employees, everybody's got a life outside of work and all of that. So I would say that honestly was the biggest surprise to me is everybody has different ways of doing things. So how can we normalize the things that we do day to day so that way we're consistent in what we do while still respecting that everybody's different?
Yeah, and everyone obviously has their own personalities.
Yep.
Like, it's
Yep.
a whole thing, and not anyone who has employees would know how that all is.
Yeah.
But
that's it.
That sounds good.
I hope by next week I'm over the Kung flu.
Yes, we all hope you start feeling better.
This is awful. And everybody wears masks, and everybody, like, everywhere you
clear.
Well, not me, but and then everywhere you go, they hand out like wet wipes to wipe stuff down. I didn't.
You said how clean it was.
Oh man, and I don't know how you get sick. I mean, I know how you get sick because they jam pack those subways so full of people. Holy cow! Yeah.
Please like, comment, and subscribe on whichever platform you're tuning in on.
Have a good day. Catch you on the next one.